Hey, what's up? It's good to see you. I'm mad tired today, but I'm gonna make a video for you anyway. The first way that I like to use the Soul Food is I like to use it as kind of like a thickener or like a saturator for a lead tone. And I find this sounds really good for something like Sweet Child of Mine. And frankly, in my opinion, this setting, it works primarily for that. Like if you have a ton of drive on the Soul Food, if you got like that much drive, I feel like it only works for that type of sound. If you're trying to do some like shredding or whatever, it's gonna be a little bit too messy. The second way I like to use it is, of course, with the MXR Dynacomp. And it's kind of like what you can see there with the Nashville compression, although it's a little bit more sensitivity. But if you just have like medium drive, like 11 o'clock in the drive setting, I find you can get that like the Texas floods kind of vibe. Obviously, I'm not as good as SRV, but I feel like you can get pretty close. But it's important that you use a Strat for this sound, because like if you try and use the Soul Food and the Dynacomp with a Les Paul, and when you're playing Texas floods, it's just not really gonna work. Another way that I really like to use this Soul Food is as a boost. So what I do there is I have the drive set very low, but I have the volume cranked up like quite a bit. And then I actually roll the pickup volume down on my guitar a lot, particularly because I'm using active pickups. And I find that if I don't roll the volume down a lot, I get too much crackling because they're so high output. So I find that if I want a really nice clean sound, but with just the smallest amount of drive, I find that the Soul Food and similar drive pedals can really do that for you. They can really boost that your tone. They can boost your clean tone without you needing to turn up the volume on your pickups. So now I'm going to show you what it sounds like with no boost at all, and just the same amount of like pickups rolled down. As you can see, it sounds all right, but it just doesn't have that same clarity and it doesn't have that same punch. And I find that using a transparent overdrive like the Soul Food, that's a really good way to compensate for that. The next way I really like to use the Soul Food is that I like to use it for like some of those old school classic rock vibes. You know, like if you're doing something like Whole Lotta Love from Led Zeppelin, it'll do a really good job of getting that sound. But you gotta make sure you have like a Les Paul or some humbuckers, otherwise it won't sound as good as it could. In a similar vein, with the classic drive sound, you can get some cool blues tones with it, and I'm thinking more along the lines of The Thrill Is Gone by B.B. King. There's not a lot of drive on that tone at all, and in fact it's quite thin, and the reason why it's thin is because it needs to fit in with the other instruments in the mix. So what I did for this setting is I used the EQ to cut out some of those low mids. I cranked the reverb because the sound in that song is cranked, the reverb on it I mean. and then you just have just a touch of drive and then a boosted signal.